This podcast is intended for mature audiences only.
Hey boys, and welcome back to the Cuckold Marriage Podcast. I'm Lexie, and tonight we're getting very intimate with another real cuckold couple because everybody loves hearing the fantasy, the flirting, the teasing, the hot wife stories. But what people really want to know is what this lifestyle is actually, what it feels like once the bedroom door closes and real emotions show up. What does it do to a marriage when another man enters the picture? What happens when jealousy mixes with desire? When insecurity mixes with excitement? When a husband realizes watching his wife become more confident, more desired, more sexually alive, turns him on more than he ever expected. Tonight we're talking about all of it. The first awkward conversations, the emotional highs, the cuck angst, the moments that brought them closer together, and the moments that tested them. So if you've ever wondered what this lifestyle really looks like behind closed doors, stay right here, because this one is going to get very real. To get us started, here's my special cookie, my subby Chris.
All right. Thanks, Lexie. Love that introduction. I am so happy to be here today because we have some guests with us today. We have another couple. And one of the things that I love about our show is that it's really resonating with couples. And
More so than we thought it would.
More so than we thought. I thought it was going to be a bunch of dudes listening to the show. And it is, but those dudes are also grabbing their spouses or their partner's hands and saying, hey, will you listen to this too? Mm-hmm. Which I think is really awesome. So before we jump into that, I want to say thanks again for the support you've been showing to the podcast. The downloads keep on growing. We're just nipping at 100 countries now. The messages keep coming in, and honestly, we love hearing from all of you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've got a question you want us to answer in the show, a confession, a fantasy, or even a cucking situation you're dealing with in your own relationship, send us fan mail through the podcast or reach out to us through our website at cuckoldlexie.com. And some of our favorite conversations start with these messages. And you can also email us at podcast@cuckoldlexie.com, and we will get back to you. And if you want more Lexie, make sure you subscribe to her family. That's the best way to support the show as well. This show is free to listen to. It's certainly not free to make, and we would love some better equipment and all that stuff. Maybe a better camera so you can see Lexie better when we do the ones that do on the video. But yeah, go ahead and find Lexie's family through her website, cuckoldlexie.com. And then finally, make sure that you subscribe to us on Blue Sky at the Cuckold Marriage Pod. So today we have with us Steve and Tita, and they are a real cuckold couple who are going to discuss some of the aspects of their cuckold relationship. Welcome to the show, you two. We are so excited to have you, Steve and Tita.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad to have you here. So Lexie and I are going to rotate on asking you these questions. And I know we sent you a list of questions. Lexie and I always do this. Well, to be fair, I do this. I come up with a large list of questions, but
some of which you actually share with me.
Some of them I actually share with her, but we're going to just ask as many as we can. But the better the organic conversation, we might only get to 2 or 3 then. Let's see how it goes. But we'll rotate. Lexie, do you want to go ahead and ask that first question?
I would love to. So what was the first conversation that made you realize this dynamic was more than just a fantasy?
So I think for us, it's a little bit different because we have really been exploring the fantasy our entire relationship. But it's just this most recent switch because we've switched between dominant and submissive throughout our relationship. And it's this most recent time when we really dove deeper into this current dynamic that we're in to the point where we feel like it's definitely feeling long-term for us.
Yeah, we actually started off in a dynamic more than a relationship, so we kind of did it a little backwards.
Do you want to kind of explain that? Because I know before we started to record, you kind of told us a little bit about that, but tell us about your origin story about how you two met.
Yeah, so we were in a chat room that was for local FetLife members, and I was super new to BDSM. I was really exploring my kinky self, and he was looking for a key holder because he was exploring his caged self.
Yep.
And so he had messaged me and we started talking, and I became his key holder. At the time, I didn't really fully understand what that meant because I was brand new.
Really, neither one of us really knew, besides like the sexual part of it, what it really truly meant as far as like the cuckold relationship.
Yeah, I want to dive into that a little bit more a little bit later on about what it means to be key holder to you. But let's see well, you asked the first question, right? So as you, and I might go kind of off the script that I sent just because I'm really interested here, but
Yeah.
Steve, what emotions surprised you the most once you actually entered the lifestyle? Was there something like, because you said you didn't expect it to, you didn't really know what it meant to have a key holder. So I'm just curious, like, what surprised you? What was it outside? Because Lex and I always talk about it's more than just the sex. So talk to us about what surprised you.
Yeah, like how much deeper like the intimacy level can get. Like we're already really intimate, but when you actually enter the cuckold lifestyle, it's the intimacy is like amplitude times 100. And then I'm just like more attentive and everything like that. It's just more intimate and more passion behind it.
All right. So this question I have is for Wifey. Did you immediately feel empowered in this dynamic, or did it take you maybe some time to grow into that role?
So it's definitely taken me time. Throughout our relationship, when I would be the dominant one, during a scene or when we were getting intimate, I felt empowered in that moment, but it didn't come naturally for me. For him, his submissiveness has been very natural. For me, the leadership role of it, me being dominant, that was not something I was used to or really ever expected that I would become empowered with. This time when we've switched, he's really encouraged my exploration, and I saw how turned on he got in the moments that I felt more empowered, and that kind of pushed me even more into that empowerment. And I think as time goes on, I feel much more empowered now than I did at the start of this.
Is that like Lexie? Did you feel the same way at first, like about the dominant side?
Yes.
Does that resonate with you?
It totally resonates with me. I absolutely felt that way. I do think that it's something that sort of builds upon itself. And, I didn't start off feeling like this end all be all powerful cuckoldress. I feel like it kind of grew over time. And so I agree entirely. I mean, beautifully said.
Yeah, really, really well done. I can't imagine, going from just like 0 to 60 in that, where all of a sudden you have the power. Because a lot of times for us, and I don't know, Steve, if this, kind of resonates with you, it just felt so natural to just kind of give up control. But I don't think it's natural on the other side to take it. Does that make sense?
It felt completely natural to give up control for sure. I've always wanted to explore the cuckold side ever since I could really remember. And now I finally can with her as my partner. Trust is a big thing for her too.
If I could ask one other follow-up question about like how you all met, because I just think there's a lot of folks listening to this show that want to have this kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more for Peter. What did he do right when he reached out to you? Because that's like everybody, there's so many cucks who would love to meet a woman on FetLife in a chat room or something like that, but they just can't do it right. What did he do right how did he phrase that right? How did he get you? That seems so awesome.
I think for me, it was how he approached it. He was very respectful. He inquired about me and my experience and wanted to know if it was something I would be interested in. He didn't just jump in and be like, hey, will you hold the key to my cage? He approached it very respectfully and genuine, and that we have discovered is very hard to find in the community. People who want to, take that time to get to know you and to open up and be vulnerable without just jumping in and being, you want to be my goddess? Will you be my key holder? Like I get a lot of messages like that without even having a conversation with me. And that's what he did. He had a conversation with me.
Absolutely. So I had a question. Was there a specific moment where you both realized okay, this is changing our relationship and our marriage?
Yeah, I think for us, I think it was different for both of us. For me, I realized that this was a long-term, like this wasn't just like any other switch we've encountered. This was us in it long-term when we both admitted out loud to each other that we did not want to switch back. I've always naturally been more submissive, and so this time has been a lot different for me. I can't imagine going back to what we were before this time. And I would feel disappointed if we switched back, honestly. I think we're both having so much fun and our relationship has grown so much from it. I think that admission from both of us was what really locked it in for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. It felt different, and it's just like a lot more intimate than it brought us a lot closer than we already were.
Yeah, he's been opening up a lot more. He's not a super emotional person, never has been. I don't know that I had ever seen him like tear up or express a big emotion during our relationship until early this year when we switched and started becoming what we are now. That he opened up to a point he had never opened up before. And it really, I think that was a big changing moment for us too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's beautiful. I love that.
That is really awesome. Like, gosh, I wonder what the psychology behind that is.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way. It's so interesting when you kind of let down that guard and you start to kind of embrace a more submissive side where you don't have to, make as many decisions or be right all the time, or your purpose is to serve the other person. It just creates a lot of clarity, and it helps you get in touch with maybe emotions that have been hidden underneath the surface. I don't know. I feel like I should be on a therapist's couch right now. It's
unlock doors that you never knew were there.
Think about that, Steve. What's that?
I said they can unlock doors that you never knew were there.
Exactly, right? It can unlock all these doors. We solve the world's problems with it. So, what boundaries did you set early on that changed, that may have changed later? I don't know how long have you all been doing this, by the way?
We've been exploring this dynamic on and off, well, since we got together.
Yeah.
So 6 years, a little over 6 years.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, it's been a while.
But we really took in the deep cuckold dive earlier this year. But we've been experimenting with it pretty much on and off for 6 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't have defined us as a cuckold marriage until early this year.
Okay. So were there boundaries that kind of changed? I mean, obviously one of them is probably he doesn't sleep with other people anymore, but are there other boundaries that have changed?
I don't know that we've had a lot of other boundaries change. That was the big one because we did start off
We did start off with swinging threesomes and things like that.
Yeah, and so that was the biggest one, I think. But I think our boundaries haven't really changed. We've kind of adjusted and added, maybe.
We'll try most things once, and if we're unsure, we'll try them again. And if we don't like them, it's enough. We're not doing that again.
Yeah. Yeah. I think some of the boundaries that has stayed actually one of the boundaries that did change was, which I didn't think about before, but he was always open to me having other romantic partners. And I never really had an interest. And then once we became what I would consider a cuckold marriage, that interest for him, he's learned is a boundary that he doesn't really want to cross, which I'm perfectly fine with. I am very happy romantically with him and him only. But that is one boundary I think that has actually changed for us.
I have to agree on that.
So you're cool with it, Steve, if she forms an emotional relationship? Is that what I'm hearing? Or is the opposite of that?
He used to be. Yeah. So he was always open to me having other romantic relationships. And
okay, so now it's a no-go on the romance.
Yeah, we
mutual, yeah.
Yeah, it's mutual. Neither one of us want that.
Like she can have all the guys she wants, but I'm her priority at the end of the day.
Yeah, and we do acknowledge though that there's always stuff happen. So you can start building a relationship with if you have like a regular bull, and we are aware that their feelings could possibly develop, and we would address it then. But we have zero plans of having any other romantic partners now besides each other.
Okay. All right. So that brings me to my next question. How do you handle jealousy, insecurity, or cucking when it shows up unexpectedly?
Well, I mean, we had one instance where she was on the phone with the potential bull that we're vetting, and I had a little jealousy come up and stuff, so I just kind of distracted myself by doing things around the house. And even though she might not answer my text or something, I would just text just a vent, and then she would get it afterwards. It just made me feel better knowing that I would just get my feelings out right then and there instead of just holding it in. Just the things like that. Just kind of keep yourself distracted. If it comes up, just know at the end of the day, everything's okay.
And then afterward, after I was off of the phone with him, we talked about it. I put the phone down, all distractions were set aside, and we discussed how he was feeling, the emotions he went through. I just listened to him talk it all out, and then we talked about if there was anything that we wanted to adjust about the relationship with the potential bull that we're vetting. So we talked about, a couple of things that we wanted to change that would make him feel more comfortable, because we are still new to this 24/7 dynamic, specifically. So we're adjusting as we go. And so we talked, it was aftercare. We had a lot of aftercare talking about it. Yeah.
It's so healthy what you just described. Like, I wish that other couples that are maybe thinking of getting into it or have gotten into it, but maybe are in like earlier stages or even, mid stages, will hear this and do that same thing. Approach it the way that you guys did in such a healthy way. I love that very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, super healthy way to do it. So, Steve, have you ever struggled with comparing yourself to another man in this dynamic?
No, I haven't really struggled with comparing myself yet. Anyway, I mean, I'm sure that road will probably get crossed at some point, but I haven't really experienced that yet. I mean, I know as far as size, I'm average, so there's really nothing there. But I haven't really, it's really never crossed my mind yet. I have fun as long as she has fun. When she has a bad experience, I kind of feel that on the back end too. I had the bad experience, like, oh man, that just sucks. I mean, when bad experience happens, it sucks for the both of us.
Are you always present, Steve? Are you always in the room?
I have been, like the past 2 times she has. But the potential bull that we're vetting, I'm not going to be there for the first meet, so that's going to be definitely an interesting moment there, and that's going to pretty much happen in a couple weeks. So.
Oh wow!
Been out of the room once before.
Oh yeah, at that one club.
It was a few years ago, and we were at a lifestyle club, and he was caged at the time.
I was sitting in the lobby while you went upstairs with that guy. Yep.
Yeah, I went off to a room with a guy without him. He was in the building, but he wasn't in the room for that time. And he felt pretty good after I came back out. I don't think there were any negative feelings after that.
No, not at all. I could tell she had fun, and it was a fantastic time that night.
Well, I love talking to couples who actually like do this stuff because, Steve, I can imagine that. So when Steve's going up, this is a hot story. So I want to
imagine that very much from true life.
Yeah, from true life. Like this is like our life. Like I mean, this happens all the time to us. But when she goes up to that room, Steve, and you're sitting there downstairs caged, what's going through your mind?
Oh, I just got like butterflies. I'm kind of giddy. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I hope she has a fun time. I hope she comes down and tells me all about it. And I hope this doesn't. It's not going to be a night ruiner. That was a fantastic time because we have had threesomes and like that and those stuff in the past, and I've had performance anxiety anyway, so I really wasn't involved anyway. But and it's just the butterflies and the excitement. It's just like a ton of things going through your head at the time.
Yeah. Well, so my next question is for my fellow cuckoldress. What do you wish that more husbands understood about the emotional side of the lifestyle for women?
So I think something that would be beneficial for husbands and for us too, honestly, to know and to acknowledge is that there can be an emotional aspect after an encounter with another man, especially when it doesn't go
the way you want it to.
Yeah, exactly the way we would hoped it to have gone. It's not always just a quick bounce back for us. There's some aftercare sometimes that's needed. And then also just to keep in mind, I think that with a female-led relationship in general and the responsibility that we do take on in decision making for our partner, it can feel heavy sometimes. Not that it's a bad heavy, just that it can feel a little heavy. And I know for me, I tend to overthink. And so I will overthink if I'm doing things the way he needs, if I'm meeting his needs. He's always great at expressing what he wants and needs, but I still overthink trying to decide if I am meeting my needs, but also still meeting his, especially on the emotional side of it.
So something very interesting that you said that I think most people never think about, and I honestly don't think about much, is aftercare, but not just for the cuck.
Yeah.
So sometimes we need aftercare. We don't always have a great experience, whether it's emotionally or physically. Mm-hmm. So there have been there's been an emotional time where I have needed some aftercare from Chris because I felt a bit, for lack of a better term, kind of used and thrown aside by a guy that, just kind of disappeared. And that made me feel really bad afterwards. And I was really kind of crushing on him. We'd been together twice, and he had really pulled out all the stops, being this, dreamboat. And the fact that I guess I pissed him off because I didn't respond to him quickly enough. And yeah, he got really needy really quickly the very day after our second time. Mm-hmm. And so when I wasn't just immediately like boom, 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 responding to every message immediately, he very quickly was like, oh, okay, radio silence, I see. And then he disappeared. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry. I have a life. I was dealing with it, blah, 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 whatever. I'm here. And he disappeared. And I felt very emotionally kind of cast aside. So I needed aftercare after that. And then there have been, shallow as it is, a couple times where I have had a bull literally be on top of me and sweat
So I
profusely.
hate that. Like, if you want to really just piss her off, put all over her.
Yeah, like profusely. Like, we're not talking, a couple drops here and there. We're talking massive buckets of sweat on top of me. I have a very visceral reaction to that level of sweat, and it's only happened like twice. But
Yeah.
I not only needed a shower immediately afterwards, I needed him to calm me down. That is a form of
Yeah, she was a wreck after that one. I felt so bad. Like, we took a little bit of a break after that because she was so distraught.
Yeah, I needed some time.
Oh, no.
So,
Yeah, that's
I know
understood.
one thing. I know one thing y'all have mentioned is how this dynamic has improved your communication and really your intimacy. Can you talk about that? About how it's improved your communication and intimacy?
Yeah, so I think I had already said he started opening up a lot more emotionally. And for me, I don't know that he had the same reaction, but for me, once he started opening up even more emotionally, the first time I saw him actually cry, which I felt a little guilty for enjoying, not because I was happy that he was in his feels, but that I could finally relate to him on that level because I'm a very emotional person. My tear ducts are attached to every emotion I have. And so me getting to see him that vulnerable with me was a whole new level of intimacy for me. He looked a little shocked when I told him that before, because we hadn't really talked about it too much. But for me, the intimacy just skyrocketed to the next level when I saw that vulnerability on his face.
Yeah, I mean, the vulnerability is a good thing because we were taught like from childhood, you're a man, walk it off. But in reality, you gotta get those emotions going. It's healthy to kind of get the line of communication, honest and open.
Yeah.
Um,
And we check in a lot more with each other too because we have gone out a little bit more, and met a couple, had a couple new experiences. And so he's really good about checking in with me after an encounter that we've had. And then I think we check in a lot more about how we're doing physically, how we're doing emotionally, if we did or didn't like something, how we're feeling about how this is changing our marriage. It's really forced us because we want to stay healthy. We've had a great relationship, and we want to keep that communication open even more now that we have changed so much of our dynamic.
So you've been thinking about it, but turning fantasy into reality takes more than curiosity. It takes direction. I work with couples and individuals to guide you through the conversations and dynamics that make a cuckolding relationship actually work. Those first conversations and introductions to your fantasy are especially critical. Done right, it changes everything. Done wrong, it can break it. If you're ready to do it the right way, book time with me at cuckoldlexie.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, and this is a big question, I know, but what is the biggest misconception people have about cuckold couples?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that the majority of it is sex. That was a misconception, right?
Yeah, that's total bullshit. It's not just about sex.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of having that misconception. I think
porn gives it the misconception. All the cuck porn and stuff like that gives it a complete misconception anyway. And so they kind of look past that.
Yeah. And what I think in the one of the big differences from the past times we've switched, where he was my submissive, I didn't really understand that, like how much of an emotional level it reaches when we are in this dynamic. I saw it, because of the basics that you see, porn, online, that it is mostly sex. And so for me, that felt like he didn't put pressure on me, but just the role itself in the past, I felt the pressure like it needed to be sex. Otherwise it wasn't significant. And once this past switch, we started learning more about cuckold marriages, and he found your guys' podcast, and
Then I
so
showed her the
yeah,
podcast, and then we started listening together and discussing them
yeah.
back and forth.
And so it's really changed my perspective on it, and I think that's one misconception a lot of people have, is that it's more emotional than it is sex.
100%. It's so little about the sex. Like, I can't even emphasize that. The sex is awesome, by the way. I don't want to tell you that. Like it's amazing. But it's just not the whole enchilada when it comes to this thing. It's just not the big picture.
Yeah, the sex is definitely a huge plus. I quite enjoy it.
Freaking awesome.
Yes.
But there are awkward moments. So have you ever had a lifestyle experience go completely wrong or awkward, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, so we've had like the pretty typical bull
Flaking out,
bulls flaking out,
being disrespectful,
crossing boundaries. So like that's turned me off a few times before, but I think the most awkward or negative encounter happened after the encounter with the guy at the club. During, it was great. He clearly had been with cuckold couples before. I mean, we learned some stuff from him.
Like, to put it lightly.
Yes. But the negative was after, like literally as soon as we left the club, I started realizing I was a little injured. He was a very aggressive kisser, learned what kind of kisser I do not like. But he had either cut or bit my tongue.
He was talking with a lisp for a week.
Yep, I had a lisp for a week, did not realize it when it happened. I learned to look at fingernails. He had very long nails, so I had a good couple scratches on me.
I've been there too.
Right? It's fun when you expect it.
Right.
But I didn't love being bruised by a stranger for a week and a half. So I definitely look at nails now. And then and he is not aware of any of these awkward moments. We are, but we also learned, added to the list, to know where the condom is at all times. I thought I saw him throw it away, but it was just the wrapper. We found it the next day.
24 hours later, it fell out.
Yep.
What?
Where was it? Don't tell me it was like you almost rolled over it on the bed or
No, I think she's saying something different.
Oh, it fell out.
Yep.
It was in there.
Yes, it was.
Girl,
in
there.
Yes. It happened to Lexie too. Like a year ago or so, right?
Well,
I couldn't believe it. What was your thought? Steve, when this happened, were you freaking out? Because I was.
Well, I mean, I'm glad it happened when it did, because it was about an hour after we got back from my parents' house.
And I wasn't wearing underwear the whole day?
Well, I was kind of relieved it happened after we got home. I was like, well, that can explain why you're still a little cramping.
Yeah, I thought I was sore just because of him. It kind of was, but wasn't exactly what I thought. I think Steve was more entertained by it. I was a little angry.
Yeah, we had to go we had to help her calm down a little bit. I was like, that's just a bad experience. I just got to chalk it up. We got to kind of just be more aware.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, fuck that bull. I'm sorry. Fuck that bull. For both of us, on behalf of both of us, that is part of his responsibility, is to make sure where the fucking condom is, because we're a little like distracted. Like that's part of his responsibility. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah.
He thinks that he's taking care of it, and when he fucking doesn't, like that's so wrong.
Yep. So he's now on the do not do again list.
Yep.
He's on the do not fly list.
Yeah.
So, moving on. Looking back now, what advice would you give to couples who are curious, but terrified to take that first step?
So I would say start off slow. If you're scared and terrified of, what could happen, start off slow. With me and Steve, he was already self-exploring that. And so we just started off, kind of casual with it, not a lot of rules, but talked about what we were and weren't okay with. And so we just started off just us.
Everybody has their own speed to do things. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You can start off with just strap-ons and dildos if that's more your speed, and then you can kind of work your way up. Everybody has their own pace of doing things.
Yeah.
Don't rush into it if you're not comfortable. If you want to experience, start off slow if you're not sure.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
100%. So what has this lifestyle taught each of you about love, intimacy, and yourselves as individuals?
So for me, I've definitely learned that I can be a leader. I still have my days where I'm not super confident in it, but I've definitely feel more empowered, not just in our dynamic, but in our regular lives as well. So it's helped me grow as a person and I think as a partner, looking more into what his emotional needs are, not just physical.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too. And I'm more attentive as well. Definitely know how to communicate a lot more and a lot positively and often. We check in with each other pretty much daily.
Yeah.
Not only with the dynamic, but within our marriage as well. How we're doing, how's everything going on your end, and everything like that. So you gotta have that trust. It took us a few years, to get to the full cuckold dynamic, but that's kind of, I think, really, in my opinion, this way it should work. So you can get the trust part first, and then explore. Because if you don't have the trust, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, thank you all so much. Do you have any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with, or anything you want to plug? Your website, your FetLife, anything like that?
No plugs. I think I just really want to thank you guys for your podcast. It's helped us a lot, learn what we're looking for and learn how to communicate, I think more effectively. Him hearing your side of it, Chris, has, I think, helped him a lot through his feelings and everything as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, I would definitely agree with that. And for anybody that wants to just jump in and do it, just be honest with your partner. That's all it takes. And then if it's a no, if it's a soft no, maybe try again later. If it's a hard no, don't mess up the relationship. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Completely agreed. And thank you for the kind words. I mean, we really are a relationship podcast more than a sex podcast, where we talk about how to build these good dynamics that can lead to everybody, getting kind of in the space they want to be. So thank you both so much. We're going to go through some listener questions, and you all are welcome to weigh in if you have thoughts. So I know this one is super long, Lexie, but this guy has been waiting for like 2 weeks for me to ask this, so I'm going to read the whole thing for him. So this is a question from the United Kingdom. Hi, Lexie. I recently found your podcast. I wanted to say it's awesome. Keep up the great work. Fast forward. Let's see here. We shoot hundreds of messages, but hope you get the time to read this one. Years ago, my wife and I swapped with another couple for about 3 years. We moved out of the area and never swapped again. I got as much excitement from knowing my wife was playing with another guy as I had with his wife. So they were swapping, but he liked knowing that the wife was playing. Fast forward many years, we regularly role play with her being taken by another guy, even holiday, and she likes to wear a discreet anklet on the right side. I've regularly told her that I'd love to see her with another man. She's always been non-committal. So I've been chatting to a guy. Okay, so here's the question. So here's the question here for all of us as two couples. I've been chatting with a guy who is a bull for almost a year now, who I feel I trust, and we have organized for him to bump into us while we are away on a mini city break. The aim being to see if there is a connection between them both and to see if anything might happen. I know if I say I want her to meet someone, she would likely get defensive and say no. The question I have is, should I tell my wife what I have planned or bump into this guy, have a few drinks, and see where it leads? I should also add he's booked a room at the same hotel we are staying at to make things easier if she decides to turn fantasy into reality. So let's deal with that one first. That's a separate question here. So the question is, she's been chatting with this bull on the side. Should he arrange a chance meeting, get her a little bit liquored up and see what happens? My initial thought is don't fucking do that. That seems like manipulative and like a setup, unless your wife has given you the go ahead. But I mean, I'm not a woman, so I'd love to hear from the women. Like, how would you feel if Steve or I did that to you? Would you be cool with that or not?
I'd be pissed.
Yeah. So
it's so controlling. I mean, I can understand why he would come at it from that angle. I can understand why he would do that, because as a coach, I talk to both men and women from both sides, and so I can understand where he's coming from. But at the same time, that is a breach of trust, and it's not going to go over well with her.
No, just don't do this. Like if you are gonna do something like this, you have to have it prearranged. It has to be within your boundaries. If you say, hey, honey, what if one night like we did this, and if she gives you the go ahead, then she might not know the night. But she has to know that it's like you have to get a yes from her. You can't just bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Behind somebody's back. It's not cool. It's not going to end well. Steve, you on this one? What's your thought?
I mean, it kind of circles back to the trust issue, and that's breaking the trust for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
that'd be a hard no.
If that was a conversation he had with me beforehand and brought it up, that'd be pretty hot.
Right?
Not knowing about it, not so much. But tell me ahead of time. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Otherwise, it feels like control and total manipulation, and it feels like you're not trusting her to make her own decisions. I feel like it not only poisons that night that you had potentially planned, but it also poisons any future nights that you have out together, because anytime a guy comes and hits on her, he's going to be wondering, did my husband put you up to this?
Yeah, you're gonna fuck it all up, man. Don't do that. No bueno. Okay, the second question did not have a location, but I think this one is for us specifically, obviously, because the question is, how often does Chris get a release from the cage? Well, I am so glad that somebody cares, Lexie. See, we have people rooting for me to get out of this damn thing.
Never, if I had anything to do with it.
If you had anything to do with it, it'd be never, but it's actually quite regularly. If you were to meet me in the grocery store, odds are I am not in the cage at that point in time. It's more of a at home when appropriate kind of thing. And if we are outside and it's within a controlled manner, it's like part of our game, right? Like, is that fair?
Fair.
Although you would have me in a 24/7 if possible.
No, not really, but I mean, 5% of the time.
75. Hey, wait, are you Kate, Steve?
Yes, I am. More often than not. Usually about 5 out of the 7 days a week. Got to give it a break here and there, but it's most of the time. And it's usually even out and about at the grocery store, work, whatever.
Yep.
What do you two? Last question. This is not a listener question. It's a Chris question. What do you two like about pacing us so dang much? Like. Because I get what Steve and I get. Like, I get it, the cuss perspective. But what do you two like about it so much? Because it seems like you're into it now.
Girlie,
I'm
you're up first.
so I love that I have that control. It is mine. I literally can wear the key around my neck whenever he is caged. Um, and I can say I'm the only one who's allowed to touch it, let it out. It's a power thing, I think, a little bit. It's mine.
So same sort of vibe. I mean, similar question, similar circumstance, similar vibe. It's about how you don't get to decide when you're out of the cage. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I not cage you whenever I freaking feel like it, or when you deserve it?
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, that was a great aside. All right. Well, thank you both again so much for this interview. This was awesome. And I'm so glad that our first guests on this podcast were another couple. That's not to say that singles can't have an amazing time and be a part of this lifestyle too. It's just cool that we're a couple. We had another just happenstance, and I think it's pretty cool. I think thank you both so much. Absolutely. And I think what really stands out every time we talk to real couples, and it's our first time on the show, but obviously when we talk to real couples, is the emotional and is how emotional and personal this lifestyle actually is. People on the outside, and you all mentioned this, think it's only about sex, but really when you listen to these stories, you realize it's about trust, vulnerability, communication, desire, fear, excitement, all of it mixed together in that wonderful blender of emotion that I keep on talking about. So a huge thank you to Steve and Kita for being so open and honest with us tonight. And to everyone listening, thank you for spending part of your night with us or part of your day or your morning drive or whenever. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow the podcast, like us, please leave us a review and a rating, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening, and share it with somebody who you think would like to connect with these conversations. And don't forget, if you want to reach out to us directly, send us fan mail, and you can also reach Lexie about coaching, all of that good stuff on cuckolderslexie.com. And all right, everybody, we will see you next time. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Lexie, you want to say bye to everybody?
Bye, guys.
I see it in your eyes. There's no way to hide it. Too many seconds you're wasting. Yeah, you don't need to fight it. I can tell that you're lost. There's no point in denying. I can see that you're lying. Kinda cute that you're trying.